Okay, and welcome to Journalism Ethics. That will be J280. I am Ron Allman, Professor of Journalism and Media at IU Southeast, and just wanted to give you a little intro into the class itself. Usually this ethics class is taught either as a face-to-face class or as a hybrid class where you listen to the lecture and then later on you come to class, and the big part of the class is an in-class debate where the homework assignments aid you in creating these arguments about ethical cases that you later end up having to take a final exam about. Well, to do this all online, this is fall of 2020, so we're in the middle of a pandemic. I have tried to create the same experience online that you would get face-to-face. It's a little difficult and really can't have these debates, but I'm hoping that the homework assignment, as I set them up, will show you the same systematic way I want you to think about ethical situations. Right now on the screen you see what you get when you get to the home page on Canvas for Seminar in Journalism Ethics, and you see our weekly schedule here. Let's quickly pop over here to the syllabus. Gives you a lot of information here, objective, big one here, no textbook, how you'll get a grade. And when you get down to the course summary, you really get to see the pattern of the course. Each week you basically are going to have a homework assignment, 2 reviews at the end, and 2 papers. That's where you're going to get your grade. So there's a lot of writing involved. And how it's going to be set up, let's actually go back to home here, and let's peek in on week 3, just a random week. So our topic that week is going to be privacy. The homework assignment is about privacy. It's the massacre at Langland High and Laura's secret diary. Well, the diary part of it is the privacy part, and we're going to be looking at it through the perspective of John Rawls. So I think it's Rawl without the S, but I can look that up later. Anyway, how the class works then is, first thing you do is you listen to the online lecture that I have about that topic. Then you think about it, and then you create the homework assignment. And the homework assignment is very specific in how I want it structured. And I'll actually be talking about that in week 2. So I'll talk about some philosophers here that'll be read, so it'll link to the lecture and structure of homework assignments. And notice that I put a little exclamation point there. And the reason for that is on the different cases, they come from a textbook and they talk about the SAD formula, the SMART formula. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to use what's known as the Potter box, which we will learn about this week. So when you go to week 1, you'll see the introduction, which you're listening to right now, and then a lecture on the Potter box itself. So regardless of what the cases say, I want you to follow the Potter box. Week 2, I'll tell you exactly how to set up the paper. You know, what the first paragraph should say, the second paragraph, third paragraph, etc., etc. It's going to be very structured, and it's through the structure that we're going to learn a systematic way to think about different ethical issues. For example, let's start off with a true-to-life type of example, and that is removing something from the web that has already been published. The situation is that, let's say, this not a true story. Let's just start there. I'm making this up, but it's based on a true story, really true story. And the basis is, let's say, the president of the student body at a small college in the Midwest, good start there, and the president of his fraternity gets arrested for a DUI on campus, driving under the influence. And, you know, at first, of course, the president of the student body / president of his fraternity didn't want the information to be out there, and try to steal some newspapers. That's theft. That's a crime. That's something that the police take care of. That doesn't fall under the scope of this class. This is ethics. But let's say 10 years down the road, this person is trying to get a job, and every time someone Googles his name, this story about this DUI, say his freshman year of college, keeps popping up. Well, he would like that to be removed. So he calls the school newspaper. People at the school newspaper don't know him from Adam because it's been years and years. There's a new advisor, there's a new editor, there's new everything. And they say, okay, we'll look into it. Now the ethical question here is, would you remove a true story that is on your website? Yeah. Well, we need a systematic way to think about that. And in the Potter box, it's a 4-step process. Instead of just making up rules as you go along or using what's known as scruples, situational ethics that change all the time. And let's say you don't remove it from the website. And this person who got caught with the DUI decides to sue you. Well, when he takes you to court, what his lawyer is going to ask you is, did you have a way of coming about making this ethical decision, or did you just make it up as you go along? Well, if you just made it up as you go along, you don't really have that firm standing that you would have if you say, well, no, we have this policy. We ran it through the Potter box. We thought about this, and this, and this is the conclusion we came up with, and that was, sorry, it's a true story. It's part of history. Sorry about your luck, guy, but this is still newsworthy even all these years later. And the courts have decided that old news that has been brought up in a new context is still news. So I personally don't think you should take down old stories that are on your website if they're true. And I do think that you need to think about it in a systematic way. So this is the method I'm going to be teaching in this class. So this week, of course, watch this introduction, click play on this and learn all about the Potter box. And in week 2, I'll give you some more philosophers to choose from for using in the Potter box, as you'll see. And then I'll tell you about the structure of the homework assignment, and it's going to be very specific. I want you to follow this structure to the letter. No bullet pointing, no, just writing and honestly BSing until you think you've written something long enough. Follow this structure on all the homework assignments, and then, write 2 papers. Let's quickly talk about the paper assignments here. Paper 1 is watching a movie. Always like watching movies. And here's a possibility here. I don't want you really to watch Runaway Bride because that's really not about journalism. Anchorman and Anchorman 2, been overdone. The Devil Wears Prada, good movie. I like it. But not really what we need to look at. These movies here that I've chosen, they're more true to life. And what I want you to do is find out the ethical situation in each of these movies. Let's take Shattered Glass, for example. The problem with Stephen Glass is he was a liar. So, truth. You get to choose your own philosopher and philosophy to apply to it. Tell me what values would apply, what loyalties you would have, and then tell me what you would have done if you were in the same place as the editors in the movie Shattered Glass. And this would work with any of those movies up there. And there's others, and if you are choosing off of this list, great. If you're not going to, send me an email, a text, or something like that, and let me know what your movie choice is, and I'll either say, yep, that'll work great, or I'll say, no, don't do that. So, speaking of which, how to get a hold of me, the best way really isn't through email or through Canvas. The best way is become my friend on Facebook. It's should be in the syllabus here. Let's open up the syllabus in a new tab, see if I lied to you. Nope, it's right there. There's my Facebook address. Become my Facebook friend. Send me a message in Facebook Messenger, and I respond fairly quick. Very quick, actually, I like to think. Oh, I'm missing a U on EDU here. I'll edit that before you guys see this. All right, let's talk about paper 2. You'll be only doing 2 papers. Let's go to home, and then down to, let's go to syllabus. We're there anyways. That was paper 1. Paper 2 due almost, well, it's after Thanksgiving. Philosophers in a modern day setting. Pick one of these philosophers and tell me what they would be doing today if they were in the journalism industry. So tell me a little bit about John Milton. Tell me what his major philosophy or main principle is. Then tell me where you think he would be in today's society, today's professional world of journalism, media, public relations, etc. And then explain your reasoning, give me a conclusion, and it should be a thinking paper. Both of them should be thinking papers. Okay, and then reviews. Instead of having a final exam like I would if this was a face-to-face or a hybrid class, I thought we'd do something fun. Why not? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We should have some fun here. So I picked out for review 1 2 documentaries that are about how journalism is a life or death kind of profession once in a while. So I'd like you to write a movie review about that. How to write a movie review, just click on that link below and sends you to this web page. Read it, and this is how I'm going to set up the rubric, how to go about it right here. And you'll do that for one of these 2 for review 1, and then review 2 is about documentaries. And this one about sex trafficking and Jeffrey Epstein, and the other one about Michael Jackson. Both kind of topical, I think. So write me a review about that, and that's how you get your grades. You do the homework assignments, you do the 2 papers, you do the 2 reviews, and it's a lot of writing, which means I'll have to do a lot of grading. Not my favorite thing to do, but for you I will. So that's it. That's the course, and I wish we were doing this some other way, face-to-face or hybrid. Actually, hybrid worked very well while we were doing that. And follow this week-to-week schedule. Don't try to go too far ahead because I may change things as I go along, but definitely for our first week here, you're watching this introduction now, and watch the Potterbach lecture. So let's have a good semester, and if you have any questions, become my friend on Facebook and send me a message. And you can always email, of course. Calling my office, we're really not going to be on campus this semester. None of your professors. 85% of classes are online at IU Southeast, so email is still king. I like those messages because I can respond to them quicker. So thank you.